talking about the physical play. I'm meaning we are taking guys from teams that are done. The teams that are so there are eras and you can see it coming and going. So this era, you can say that it's the Mahomes, the Burrow, the Lamar, the Allen, the Hurts. Like those are the premier quarterbacks. And usually those premier quarterbacks, those teams are always going to have a shot. The generation before that, that's when you had Rodgers and Brady and Manning and Ben and Breeze, and that's when you had those guys, and then you had your Russell Wilsons and guys like that. Until the Steelers have a quarterback that can put them in there, they will not be able to compete. But instead of us finding that guy, we are continuing to just reach on to guys that were the generation before. But you don't come back, right? The 2000s were different quarterbacks, right? Kurt Warner's and those guys were kind of leading that generation. Once you got to the middle to the end part of the 2000s, that's whenever it was Brady, the Manning, then the Benz and whatnot. Favre was still there a bit, but then you had the Aarons and stuff like that. The 2010s, that's the Brady, the Manning, the Ben, the Breeze, the Russ, the Rodgers. That's those guys. The Stafford was solid, but he was with Detroit. It's hard to like not in the 2020s except for what Brady he was able to continue through into the next generation and pull one, but then the next year after that he lost to Kenny Pickett and the Steelers. So it's very hard to pull quarterbacks from the generation before and then create a team that competes here. Because even with Brady, or like with Manning on his way out, we had watched Manning dominate in the 2010s. So yes, he was on his way out, but that was still his era, and that's why I'm saying the Steelers are just failing to understand that. They're failing to understand and I don't think they're failing. I think they understand it at this point. I think it was a great move to not draft a quarterback this year unless they had planned to draft one this next year too. But I think they